There we go. Guys, we've got one more actor in a short spot in this section, so keep the applause going. Whoop and cheer, please welcome to stage Mark Dennett, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Mark, I live in Cornwall. Hey, get off your sister. I live in a small village called 1976. Honestly, I live in a place so backwards when the neighbours come around I have to turn the colour off for telly. Or they accuse the wife of witchcraft. I should have stood up for her last time, but honestly thought she could swim. No. I'm joking, she's kind, she's pretty, she's beautiful, she's sat at the back of the room. We've actually been married 5 happy years. 17 miserable fuckers. But, I'm sorry, have you ever heard that old adage, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach? Well, she told me her name was Donna and that was it, I love her kebab. Trouble is, 20 odd years on now, every night I go to bed with a large Donna. And true to form, she leaves a bad taste in my mouth and very often repeats on me. Well, it's just that marriage goes through cycles, doesn't it? Have you noticed that? Marriage goes through cycles. We went through that cycle where you both wanted different things. I wanted a motorbike, she wanted a bloke across the road, but we got through that. And now we're going through that stage where you just start a row because you can. Do you know what I mean? The opportunity's there, you take it. We went shopping at the weekend, she came out, she said, tell me the truth, does this dress make me look fat? I said, no love, dress is fine. She asked if something to make you look fat. But she gets her own back, don't worry about that, she gets her own back. I was coming out tonight, she had her friend round, I said, I'll be off now then love. And she said, oh, bye-bye credit card. And then she looked at her friend, she said, I call him my credit card because when I want something, I use him. That's nice, isn't it? Quite ironic because when I want something, she becomes contactless. But someone asked me the other day and he said, Mark, what's your life like? If your life was a TV programme, what would it be? I had a little think and I thought, it's like The Chase. Because when I come in late, I face a series of questions with the beast, you know what I mean? And then, no, honestly, look, all the problems in my marriage are at my door. I'm at fault because in all the years we've been together, I haven't understood a single thing that she's said. A lot of it's due to the fact she's Japanese, but there's only 3 things I understand that she says to me. I'll be doing something around the house and she'll go, ah! Now that means you might want to think about what you're doing. If she tuts, it means you might want to stop that. And if she goes, it means put your coat on and fuck off out for an hour. Now, I'm joking, we've been together an awfully long time. I actually met her at school. We were both at school, I'm not from Bideford. And maybe I am. But anyway, it's a true story. I was running down the corridor one day and I ran straight into her. And I knocked all her books onto the floor. I apologised, I bent down, picked them up, and I looked into her eyes and I thought, she's nice. And then as I was handing her all her books back, I noticed on every one she'd written, I love anal. So I asked her out there and then. Took me 6 years to discover she was dyslexic and fancied me mate Alan. It still causes us problems to this day. We went shopping at the weekend, wouldn't walk with me, said I was childish because I had a carrier bag that said tampon. Fucking top man. But anyway, you may have noticed I'm the old person on the bill tonight. I am the old git. You know, I do realise I'm getting old, I'm getting knackered, but looking around I don't feel too bad about myself. But I started, going off things like, you go off work, don't you? You think, I'll treat it like a gym subscription. Fuck it, I've been in once this week, I'll go in properly next week. And I've sort of started going off sex as well, do you know what I mean? Because my wife used to be able to twist me around her finger if she wanted something. We didn't have much money, she said, I know we can't afford it, but if I can buy this, I'll do anything that you want. And I think it's something rude, something kinky. But now if she says it, I'll say, would you mind going out so I can have an early night? Do you know what I mean? But sex is difficult to get as well these days, isn't it? You know, things change. I never used to have to give written notice, say please, thank you, and promise to put some shelves up beforehand. And we don't talk as a nation, do we? We don't talk enough. Have you seen the adverts, have you? We're going to stop and we're going to talk. I was watching the telly the other night and one of them come on. She said to me, we don't talk. We never talk anymore. We should talk. I didn't know what to say. She said, ask me a question. Ask me anything at all. I said, okay, what's your favourite sexual position? She said, the boiled egg. The boiled egg. Meant nothing to me either until I came home from work and found her in bed before soldiers. But it's a sad fact of life, because we're getting older, you've got to look up to the fact that you've got to face up to the fact that one of us is going to die before the other. It happens, doesn't it? We're not going to die together, we'll be unlucky if we do. So we've started making provisions for the future. And what we've decided is that whichever one of us is left behind, we will visit the deceased person's final resting place at least once a week. At least once a week, that's nice, isn't it? She thinks it's going to be difficult, but to be fair, I'm going to have it cremated and scattered in Tesco's. She'll get in one long visit and maybe 2 short ones a week. And if I do it in the fruit and veg, she'll always be all right for flowers. And let's face it, if she's not, it's not my fault. You may have noticed that I'm not actually from Cornwall originally. I come from another place down the south coast. But I love living in Cornwall, and I mean, what I love about living in Cornwall is nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. If you want to know anything, you've got to find out for yourself. Now, a couple of years ago, I had an accident, I hurt my back. Thank you, you're very kind, it's slightly quicker than talking. Now, I went to the doctors, he said, you're going to have to go for physiotherapy. Now, I thought this is a nightmare, because where I come from, you have big inner city hospitals, you have departments in buildings and buildings and buildings. Each department has its own building. He said, no, he said, you're all right. He said, you go to your local cottage hospital, they have a physiotherapy clinic there on a Tuesday. I went along, marvellous, free parking, it was lovely. But what they didn't tell me is some of the facilities are shared. I said, hello, my name's Mark, I'm here for physiotherapy. She said, oh, the waiting room's down there. I went into the physiotherapy waiting room to find out there's also the sexual health clinic. First thing I knew, there was a picture on the wall. Does your penis look like this? I can honestly say it didn't, because the bloke in the picture was black. But it's horrible, because everybody looks at you as though you've got some sort of disease. You know, nobody thinks you're there for a physical problem. But then some of the younger people want it, they see it as a badge of honour. This young kid, he come in, he was strumming himself, wanted everybody to know he'd got a disease. Now, I don't know how to describe him. He was about 17, he had big baseball boots on, big baggy jeans, his pants were over here. He had a hoodie on, baseball cap on back to front, and a chain. I suppose around here you'd call him a gangster rapper. But he's from Cornwall, so he's more ginster rapper, you know what I mean? And then what sums up Cornwall to me, wonderfully, was these two local blokes. These two porters, they brought in a lady in a wheelchair. She must have been about 90. Obviously there for physiotherapy. She was there for sexual health. Fair play to her. And these two blokes just didn't give a shit. They left this poor 90-year-old lady in a wheelchair sat under a poster that simply read, "This is what gonorrhea looks like." Now, I moved to Cornwall about 8 years ago. My friends from back home said, don't move to Cornwall. They won't like you. They won't talk to you. They won't give you a job. They're not very friendly. Load of rubbish. Got a job straight away, and from day one they were being really friendly. They gave me a nickname. Started calling me Grant, making me feel welcome. Grant, because obviously to them I sound a bit like Grant Mitchell. Found out yesterday Grant's short for immigrant. They don't like me at all. But the best thing about Cornwall is everybody's really lazy, really, really lazy. I've become it myself. And some of the companies in Cornwall have said, look, you know, we realise you're lazy, and so you can have as much time off work as you want, but you've got to pay for it. And you join a scheme called Credit Sticks. Have you got Credit Sticks in Devon yet? No. It's fantastic. You'll go to work on Monday and you'll ask for this. Basically, they've got this scheme down there called Credit Sticks, and if you want time off work, you can do it as part of a syndicate, as a single person. You invest in this scheme called Credit Sticks, and then when you want time off work, you physically cash in a credit stick, and what you do is you take one, you take it outside, you set fire to it, you blow smoke out of it, and this entitles you to 10 minutes off work, apparently. And then you all stand in a circle and moan about the people still working. Now, a little while ago, I was feeling a bit tired, and I saw my mate Terry coming out for one. I said, oh, Terry, you're ever so lucky. I said, I wish I was part of the syndicate. He said, come outside. He said, have one of mine. He said, I'll treat you. So I went out and had one. The ironic thing was, I only wanted 10 minutes off work. This thing made me so fucking sick, I had to have the rest of the day off. So a few of us got talking, and we said, look, this is a bit unfair. This is why they allowed time off work just because they got this filthy habit, and we haven't. So we decided to form our own credit stick union in the form of Kit Kats. Next day, all the smokers went outside. Half a dozen of us went outside with Kit Kats, formed our own circle. We had one finger each. And we spent 10 minutes sucking the chocolate off the wafer. After 10 minutes, you're just left with a wafer that you throw on the floor and stamp on it. You push it into a wall, or for a bit of banter, you flick it. But it's not long before the similarities start occurring, because it was only a couple of days in, the same bloke come outside and said, "I've left my Kit Kats in my jacket, can I have one of yours?" Dave went on holiday, come back with 48, tried to sell them off cheap. They brought out a mint one for a while, didn't they? I went mental for a fortnight. They call me naive, but there's a Rastafarian fella at work, Patrick, and his Kit Kats always smell far more exotic than everybody else's. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. My name's Mark Dennett. Thanks for listening. Good night.
Mark Dennett, ladies and gentlemen.